Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is our uh, this is our last Monday night class. So after this, the classes will switch to Wednesday night, and the reason for that is because now that the Department of Corrections is allowing us to go back into prison, some of the prisons, I'm in prison Monday, so they do let me out, but coming back and doing Qigong is pushing it. So so that's why. And they used to be Wednesday. They've been, when they were live at the Taiji Center, they were Wednesday for a long time. So we're just sort of going back to what that was. If that's inconvenient for you, I regret that. But you know, you can't please everybody. So they will be just in the same format. They'll be in this Zoom format. Everything will be recorded. The recordings will be available on YouTube. So even if you can't make the class in person, you can access that. And those are open to the public, so anybody can access those. And then the other thing is, I have a date for the retreat, the half-day retreat at the Taiji Center, which is going to be October 2nd. October 2nd. And it'll be from 9 to 1. It'll be a 4-hour retreat again, just one this time. And you have the option of either attending live, which I encourage you to do if you can, or attending live via Zoom. And so that Zoom link will be via Google Drive, and you'll need a link. You'll need a link to see that, unlike the YouTube, it's not public. So I'll be sending that info out to everybody on the email list about the switch to Wednesday, August 4th will be the first class, and then the scheduled retreat. And I believe we're going to have a retreat about every 3 months. So if for some reason you can't get to this one, there'll be another chance. And I think each one will probably have a different theme. So yeah, so that's the way that looks right now. Any questions about any of that? No, that's clear. Okay, great. Um, Let me switch the view here and be sure everybody's muted. Okay, very good. Okay. So just sort of as a review, or sort of the basics um, of what this breathing earth Qigong is. So each one of us has a body energy, multiple energies, of course, but just in general, each one of us has a body energy, a body-mind energy. Because if we didn't, we'd be dead. That's kind of what death is when that energy is no longer associated with the body. So this inherent energy that enlivens the body and enables the mind to exist, that's qi. And qi's broken down, there's different types of qi and so on. But that basically what we're accessing here is this primordial qi, this primordial energy that is beyond space and time and not subject to being what we want it to be, because we're manifestations of it. So this body energy predates humanity. So this body energy, if you've studied a little about evolution, is what has diversified and become increasingly complex through the eons. starting out as really very, very simple life forms, and over the millennia and over the millions of years becoming more diversified and more complex, so that our brains, our minds, have all this added on stuff, like our cognitive ability, our limbic system, our emotions, um, our higher consciousness, all of these things. These are sort of all add-ons um, to the basic chi energy that forms the cosmos, really forms everything. So we can access that directly simply by allowing the obstructions to vanish. And then there it is, there it is, because it's always here. One other aspect I want to mention about this, because this is really important in terms of precepts and relationships and so on. Let's sort of reduce this movement here and then just come into stillness. Um, Human beings, we're animals, and we're pack animals. We're social animals like elephants and like whales and like wolves. We're social animals. And so there's a resonance between bodies, between beings. There's a resonance because there's an attraction. There's like a magnetic attraction to be near other beings. It doesn't have to be other humans. It could be your dog, your cat, your horse, your elephant, if you're fortunate enough to have one of those. But we can feel a subtle resonance when we're in the presence of another being, another person. And this isn't just cognitive. It's like, oh, I know that she's there. Oh, I can hear her breathing. I can see this person. It's much, much deeper than that. It's a body resonance. So it's just like if you have a big bell and you ring the big bell and there's another bell next to it, the bell vibrates. It's at that level. It's at a cellular level of kind of like magnetism. And so as we're able to touch into our own chi, our own energy, and to feel it and to sense it, then we can also be much more resonant with other people. And we can feel maybe the effect of something that we're thinking of saying before we say it. So we don't have to say it and then experience it. So, so this is another aspect of Qigong and how it affects how we are relationally. It's very profound. So that's why I'm encouraging you to come to the retreat live if you can. Although I think we get a sense of each other on Zoom too. But so that's just something to be aware of. And we'll go into, when we go into our meditation, we'll go into the next level of that teaching, that awareness. Okay, well, let's go ahead and bow to the directions, starting with east. Bowing to the east. Bowing to the south. To the west. The north. If you're a Buddhist practitioner, the Buddha actually taught this. He bowed to, it was the six directions. Um, Others since then have added the seventh, but um, north, south, east, west, up, down. Um, so that is in the sutras, and this practice of bowing to the directions, and this practice, the sleep position. I recommend those daily. To I bow to the directions in the morning. Every morning, I've done so for decades, and then this in the evening. And actually, those two little things are a lot. That's sort of frames the whole day. Okay, let's loosen up the head and neck. So the head and neck, I mean, you can go round and round, and that's good. And there's also, we've done these before, there's also the front to back. So this is the turtle, or no, this is the crane, the flying crane. And then the reverse of it is the turtle going into his shell. I might have those backwards. This may be the crane, and the other one might be the turtle coming out of its shell. I don't know. But I just call them front and back. So, you know, this is good for preserving range of motion for your head. And then just let that naturally segue into moving the shoulders to loosen up these connecting muscles here. You don't have to do this. They're often taught discreetly. You know, the crane, the turtle, you know, the circle, the circling the shoulders. I was taught all of these as discrete movements. But actually in practice, I flow them into each other. It just seems more natural. And then it just sort of naturally drops to where it's, you know, we're moving the whole torso now. And then circling the hips, or flexing the hips. I guess it's useful to know the discrete movements, but it doesn't mean that you have to do them. You can do more than one at the same time. You can do the shoulders and the hips and the neck and the head. The main thing is to get loose and relax. So, however that works for you. So, and then the next natural thing is to want to open the chest then. So, sort of sit down in horse stance. This is actually standing position 3, embracing the tree, but we're pointing toward the heart. So now we're opening. And in doing this, the body remembers every single time that you've done opening the 7 gates. It's reminding the physical body, it's reminding the energetic body that there's this openness, and that we're adding our intention to open. By doing this gesture, we're adding our intention. We're opening to that flow of of that universal chi energy. That's what we're opening to. But this is kind of a letting go, isn't it? I mean, we're intentionally opening. But then this gesture at the end, this isn't a letting go, it's an acceptance. We're kind of reaching in, taking out, any junk or blockages in the body and the heart, and just dropping them on the sides. And we're also opening the chest upward a little bit. So it's as if we're opening the body and then we're tilting it back so that the light of the stars, the sun, the moon, so that this light can enter the chest. And the whole body, actually, the forehead, and neck, chest. So that's what this gesture is, a gesture of openness. Openness to the chi, the universal life force, chi. And then we repeat this, because as we repeat it, we're letting go of doing it. It's just kind of doing it on its own, It's just this gesture, this motion. So the eyes can open at the top and close partly at the bottom or all the way. That's an opening. Okay, so this is much more than just exercising the muscles of the chest and back. I mean, it is that for sure. But we're also moving a little closer to the Tao every time we do this. Okay, let's do a couple more. All right, good. Moving down now, and let's try the balancing. See how you're doing. Even if you just do this once a week, you will notice an improvement. You're able to do this a little more easily, hold it a little longer, even just once a week. Because we're training the memory of the body. So every time you do this, you keep your balance. The body remembers that. Then you do the other. It says, oh yeah, this. I know this. Yeah, I can do this. We're not training to be Olympic athletes. But if we could just stand on one foot for a little while and keep our balance, we're not going to win any medals, but we may avoid that disastrous fall. No guarantee, of course, but it gives us a little more chance. Okay, very good. So now, let's go into the cloud hands to the sky and earth. Cloud hands is very beautiful. This movement it just sort of sings. Keep the hands one on top of the other. And the body lifts and sinks, turns. It's a very soothing kind of movement. You can watch your hands if you want to. They're very beautiful, very amazing, really, what they can do. And you can let this move get much bigger if you want to. And really expand it if you feel like that. Or you can reduce it. Still the same move. Let's reduce. Come to stillness. Check that the body is not tightening up. See that you're loose. And the upper hand is opposite the heart, the lower opposite the belly. Okay, and then when you're ready, and dip the knees, and then just flip the hands. Now this might feel different. Okay, so let's wind up, and then wave hands through clouds. You might envision clouds or sort of being surrounded by a mist, maybe a rainbow kind of colored mist around you. You're moving through very soft, very easy. The hands always come back for a moment to being right up and down from each other, right in the middle. And then we can make this very big then, sort of segue this into this. We're expanding the sense of the body. It's gotten much bigger. So there's this consciousness, this energy around the body. Okay, let's reduce the movement. Now maybe you can get some kind of a sense of the palms. Maybe feel or imagine a connection between the palms. So imagination is fine. It's part of Qigong. And if you're not feeling it much or at all, just visualizing it, just imagining it, actually sharpens the perception. The ancients say Qi follows the mind. So if our mind is connecting the palms, the Qi will flow there in that way. Okay, so you can expand this a lot, or just enjoy the movement, that's fine too. Now there's a resonance in the body with what's happening with the hands. And maybe you can feel this in the body as well. It's just very relaxed. Okay, very good. And now let's go to parting the clouds. So dipping the knees, send the hands up, up, way above, as far as you can above the head. Then back to back, and then get a sense of this. Okay, this clouds around the body, and now we're going to part the clouds to the light, to the space. Okay. As soon as we parted the clouds, then they maybe are going to begin to kind of come back. So we're going to repeat. Okay, extend the intention, extend the mind way up, parting the very high clouds, parting the clouds. It opens up the whole system. Each time that we do this, we're parting higher, farther. What we're really doing is we're separating out formations, anything solid, even stars, separating out anything solid. It's just space or energy. And then comes down, fills the body, and use the eyes, looking down, moving the eyes with the hands. Okay, the intention to go way, 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 way up. Turn the hands, intention to part, and we're going to screen out all matter. So we're opening. It's just openness. Comes down, eyes are moving down, fills the body all the way down, okay, into the earth. Okay, and now we're going to repeat. Eyes are following the hands. Up, up, up. Okay, send the intention way, way up. Extend the sense. What does it feel like? Way up. Open. Everything goes. Nothing remains. Eyes come down. In breath. Breathe naturally. So this is a gesture of uniting heaven and earth. So this is removing the barriers between the material and the boundless. Okay, as we go. Even moving away all the heavenly bodies, moving everything that's physical. Okay, let's do one more. Now that we're in standing two positions, so the hands are facing each other, a little bend at the elbows. We're just being with this boundlessness that we've let in. And the chi, of course, is what it is. So the body's very much alive. So chi makes up all form, and it also makes up formlessness. Okay. Well, let's dip the knees, come up, and come up into standing three, embracing the tree. So sense the connection with the hands and the heart. If you want to, you can sink down and make this a strengthening exercise for the thighs, or not. This is cycling this energy through the body, and the hands are forming like a synapse. So there's a space, and the energy jumps. So this is exactly like a synapse in the brain firing. Okay. Well, let's go into touching heaven, touching earth. Now the synapse here is the body. So heaven is the ancient term for consciousness, or formlessness, boundlessness. And then earth is the term for form, material. And so the connection between boundlessness and form, the synapse there, is the body. So the upper hand is way, way up, and it disappears up into formlessness. The lower hand sort of becomes one with form of the earth. And then the body, the energy in the body is the synapse that's firing very rapidly between the two. And so with your mind, that you can extend that upper hand way, 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 way up. Extend that lower hand, and then the feet down, down, down. And it's not just imagination, it's what would it feel like? What does it feel like if you had roots way down into the earth? What's the feeling of that? And then way, way, way up, what would it feel like for the arm to go way up and touch the stars? Extending the body. Okay, and now let's bring these together. And now let's just do the same and reverse the hands. It's a very profound posture of extending the sense of touch way up. You can feel the space between the stars, extending the sense of touch way down into the earth. Holding both at once. And then the body is the connection. Okay, let's come back to the heart. And then just bring one hand over the belly. So this is the gesture of sort of holding, so lightly holding all of that. Okay, let's go ahead now and take our seat. Just get comfortable. Move around any way you want to. Just drop into this. Not rigid. It's strong and upright, but not stiff. So if we just have a sense of being vertical here, internally in the body. Okay, now the primordial chi is said to rise up from the earth, or rise up through the body. It's like a tree in spring, like that. And then that form come out and all around and down. The heavenly chi, of course, comes down like tree in autumn. This is separating it out because it's all happening at once. It's going in all these directions at once. It's just this kind of vibrating. It's just like electric current. Alternating current goes back and forth. It's a similar kind of thing. Okay, now the thing about this primordial chi flow, it's going through us and through dogs and through trees. It's going through the solar system. It's very impersonal. However, we we change it. Our minds are kind of like these labyrinths. So the chi sort of flows through all these channels in the body, and then it flows through these incredible labyrinthine channels in the mind. And that's okay. It's thinking. But with our intention, we can just dissolve those labyrinths, those pathways. Just let them dissolve. And for a moment, maybe experience the direct. And this can be done with the breath, so dissolving, letting go is the out breath. Just letting go, really, of the brain and letting go of these channels. With the out breath, then there'll be a stillness. And then you may sense that powerful energy before the in-breath comes in. The in-breath is yang, the out-breath is in, so in the space between them, there's that balance. If you just rest in that space at the end of the out-breath, the mind will calm down. And then there's a little intention, perhaps. It's a little intention to go deeper and to sense this chi, this energy. Just a very, very subtle opening, really. And the intention is just to open. And it's kind of like electricity. And when we experience this, it tends to sort of clear us out a little bit. The clutter disappears for a moment. And then we can just rest in that space. And even when forms appear, whether it's a thought or a sensation of some kind, a sound or a feeling or something, but that's okay, because it's all arising and passing away in consciousness, and consciousness is where we're resting. If you want to actively evolve the body, you can, excuse me, you can do the microcosmic orbit. Just bringing the attention up the back, down the front, so you can move the energy, or you can remember or re-embody any of the movements that we've done. Okay, and then as you're ready, can you sense that spaciousness around the body? The body is just sitting in the middle. Okay, so each breath is 10,000 others are breathing with you. And the breaths are the wind, the breaths are ancient, and all of this is unfolding in the presence of a big consciousness. Okay, so as you become ready, go ahead and move a little bit. We're not losing touch with anything. We're directly in touch with the life force energy in every moment in our body, and it makes up our mind. So it's not like we're going to lose it or anything. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead now and do our closing. So we'll clap our hands one time. And massage the eye sockets. Pull back the hair. And massage the ears. Temples. Thank you so much for your practice. And now, if you would like to continue on your own, if you'd like to leave the Zoom, please do that. If you'd like to stay for questions or comments, then we'll do that.